I think in the long run, I guess I just don't know what they think they're achieving. I also think that, again, a lot of people don't think what they're doing is violent. I think that's, again, I think people think, forcing their daughter into a marriage, like, well, I got forced into a marriage, what's the problem, Or, taking a daughter out of school, or these sort of smaller, people see as smaller, they don't realize the repercussions, the huge impact it's having. And I would say it's weakening your families, it's weakening your community. It's not strengthening it. And you're losing. I mean, you're losing people, you're losing family members, people are leaving, or people are they're sad and depressed, or they're having these, or they're having cycles of violence. Like, in some of the, talking to other service providers, it was interesting, they were saying, like, CAS, at least in Toronto, what they were seeing was the results of forced marriage being violence against children, right? Because you have this deeply unhappy home, where no one wanted, both sides didn't want to be with each other, and this is what happened. So this is not creating strong families. This is not going to create a strong community if you perpetuate this. I'd also say, again, a lot of people would say, well, I would never go as far as killing my kid, but I'm doing all these other things. And I think we have to understand also, even sometimes the talk that we have, the way we speak about a girl dressing or behaving, we have to understand that we're actually endangering our daughters. We're actually endangering our young people. And we're seeing this again in the context of our work, in that people who are predators, people who are, say, for example, looking for women to force into sex or force into the sex trade, they understand the dynamics of our communities. And they realize, oh, well, maybe I can sexually assault this girl, but she's not going to tell anyone, because her family would force her into marriage, or her family would maybe, she thinks her family would kill her, they would do something. So this is a perfect target. She's going to be silent. And families need to think about that. Do you want to be creating a situation where, and that's the thing too, the predators are not necessarily outsiders. They're people in your own community. And we're seeing this now, like the huge case that's happened now in the UK of, realizing that there's so many young people from within the Pakistani community who are being, sexual violence was being acted upon them by other members of their community, and they knew they'd be silent. They knew they'd be silent because of their own families. They thought their own families would turn on them. This is happening on smaller scales here, and we know that. So families need to think about it differently. They need to think, like, if I've created a situation where my daughter's going to be so afraid to come to me if something happened to her, I've actually endangered her. So if my whole logic of doing this is protect her, you haven't protected her. You actually made her a target for people within the community, and then people without, because we also have seen cases of people from outside, our communities, from Western communities, who again understand the dynamics. It's like, oh, I can go after this girl and then blackmail her or do this because she will be so afraid. And we know of cases like that in Peel, and just very disturbing situations where, in one case, the girl committed suicide because she really felt she was, a picture was taken of her speaking to a young man. People said, oh, we're going to send this picture to your family if you don't have sex with us. So she didn't want to have sex with them, so she killed herself. This is pretty dramatic stuff, because she didn't think she can go to her family. She didn't think there was anyone to go to. So I think that's the thing. Most communities, most families want a strong family. They want to think they're keeping their kids safe. They want to maintain their values, but this isn't the answer. Creating a situation where your children are so afraid that they wouldn't come to you if they needed help, that's not the answer. So I think people need to see it as, this is not the way to create a strong family. It's not the way to create a strong community. There are other ways that are going to be more effective in achieving strong families and communities.